We weren't even dating for that long, 6 months, give or take. Not even a full year. But when I tell you she came in like a hurricane, I mean it. Her name's Marissa. I met her through a mutual friend at a small get-together. She had this loud laugh that made people turn their heads, and this way of making everyone feel like they were the only one in the room when she talked to them. And for a while I thought I was the only one. First month, everything was perfect. She texted me good morning every day, sent pictures of her coffee, talked about how she couldn't believe we hadn't met sooner. By week 3, she was calling me her future husband. At first I laughed it off. Thought it was cute. Thought maybe she was just one of those intense people who love hard. Then came the family talk. You have to meet my mom, she said one night after. As she'd love you. I hadn't even met all my cousins, and she was already planning Christmas with me. She told me about her ex, a woman who treated her like dirt, cheated on her, lied constantly, used her for money. Said she was done with girls and just wanted something stable. Said I made her feel safe. I believed her. Maybe I wanted to be that for her. Her dad had passed away a few months before we met. Cancer. She said I came into her life at the perfect time, said I gave her something to hold on to. I felt honored, like I was helping her heal. Looking back, I didn't see the warning signs. Or maybe I did, but ignored them because I liked feeling needed. Every time I tried to take a step back, she pulled me in harder. Called me distant, said I wasn't being present enough. We were only a few months in, and she was already talking about me moving in with her. And I almost did. So here's the thing, long before I met Marissa, I bought these tickets to a music festival. One of those big, 3-day weekend ones with multiple stages, food trucks, the works. I bought them for me and my best friend, Jake. We'd talked about going for years, and finally, I just said screw it and got them almost a year in advance. I figured when the time came, we'd both need a break from real life. The weekend of the festival rolls around, and I swear to God, life has the worst timing. My dad passes away. He'd been sick, but still. It felt sudden. I got the call the morning we were supposed to hit the road. I just sat there. Numb. Cried for hours. Then I did something that might sound heartless to some, but I knew it was what he would have wanted. I still went to the festival. Not to party. Not to run away. I went to grieve. My dad was the reason I loved music. Classic rock, blues, a little metal. He played guitar, taught me chords when I was 10. We used to sit in the garage and just listen to old records, drinking beers once I was old enough. Going to that festival wasn't about fun, it was about honoring him. Jake understood. He's been my boy since high school. He didn't push, didn't judge. Just said, hey, whatever you need, man. We drove in silence most of the way, the kind that only real friends can sit in comfortably. Marissa, though? She didn't take it that way. The second I told her I was still going, she flipped. You're seriously leaving now? After your dad died? Who even does that? I tried to explain, told her this was my way of dealing. That Jake was just there to support me. That I wasn't gonna be getting wasted or chasing girls. Just needed some time and space. But that's when the accusations started. Is there some girl you're meeting there? You probably just want to run off and get high with your stupid friend. I bet you're already over your dad if you can party the same day he died. That one stung. I didn't even have the energy to fight back. I just told her, believe what you want. I need this. If you can't support me right now, maybe I don't need you either. She didn't respond after that. Not for the rest of the weekend. Jake tried to keep my spirits up. We didn't talk about her. We listened to live sets, shared memories about my dad, drank a couple beers for him under the stars. It was bittersweet, man. I cried during a set from one of my dad's favorite bands. Not even ashamed of it. Felt like he was there. But while I was trying to find peace, she was busy doing something else entirely. So the weekend ends. I come back home feeling, I don't know, drained but also lighter. Like I finally let some of the grief out. My dad was gone, and that hurt like hell, but for the first time it felt real. Like I'd said goodbye in my own way. I texted Marissa that night. Just a simple "I'm back. Hope we can talk." She replied, "Is sure. Come over tomorrow." Nothing else. "Noah, how was it?" "Noah, I missed you." Just cold. I told myself maybe she just needed space too. I pull up to her place the next day. She opens the door like nothing's wrong, smiling, acting sweet, wearing that hoodie of mine she always stole. For a second, I almost forgot about everything. But something was off. Her energy was fake. Her eyes didn't match her smile. You know when someone hugs you, but their body's stiff like they're bracing for something? That was her. We sat down. She made coffee like usual. Small talk. Asked if the music was good, didn't even mention my dad once. Then she says, real casual, "So, I need to tell you something." My stomach dropped. I knew that tone. She starts off with, "It didn't mean anything." That was the first sentence. No build-up. No warning. I didn't even say anything. I just stared at her. Waiting. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "I slept with my ex." Her ex-girlfriend. The same one she said abused her emotionally. The one she cried about the night we met. The one she told me she never wanted back in her life. Apparently, it happened a spur of the moment. She was lonely, confused, and felt abandoned because I left for the festival. I was gone for 3 days. 3 freaking days. And she climbed back into bed with someone she swore had destroyed her. She blamed me. Said if I had stayed, she wouldn't have been so upset. Said I shut down emotionally after my dad died and she didn't know how to deal with it. I laughed. Not out of humor. Out of disbelief. You cheated on me because my dad died? She didn't flinch. Didn't cry. Just looked at me like she was bored of the conversation. I stood up. Didn't even know what I was gonna say, but then she hit me with the cherry on top. You act like you're some perfect guy, but you were never really there for me either. I swear to God, I had to walk outside to stop myself from saying something I'd regret. I walked down her street, just pacing, trying to breathe. I called Jake and told him everything. He was quiet for a long time and just said, "You want me to come pick you up?" But before I even made it to the corner, my phone rang again. And that's when her ex started calling me. So yeah, I'm walking down her street, trying to process everything. My girlfriend just told me she cheated with the same ex she claimed messed her up emotionally and somehow made me the villain in her story. Then my phone rings. Unknown number. I normally don't pick those up, but I was already so shaken I just hit answer without thinking. Hey, this voice says. You the guy Marissa's been dating? It was a woman. Calm. Confident. Too calm, actually. I asked, "Who's this?" She laughed, and said, "Oh, I'm the one who had her while you were off playing rockstar at your little festival." I didn't say anything. I couldn't. It felt like getting punched in the chest again, but this time over the phone. She kept going. As she came to me crying about how distant you've been. Said you couldn't handle real emotion. Said you were cold and selfish. I snapped then. As she told me you treated her like garbage. That's when she really lost it. I guess we're just making things up now, huh? You think you know her? Please. She's mine. Always has been. And then, get this, a man's voice suddenly jumps in. Just takes over the call like it was a conference line. You better back off, bro. You don't want to make this worse for yourself. I was stunned. Literally speechless. Like, who the hell was this random dude on the phone? I just said, "Are y'all serious right now?" and hung up. Then the texts started rolling in. One from a different number saying, "You lost. Deal with it." Another one just said, "She's done with you. Get over it." I walked straight back to Marissa's place, not even angry at that point, just needing answers. She opened the door like she'd been expecting me. "You called them?" I asked. She shrugged. I didn't think you'd take it well, so I told her to handle it. Like cheating on me and then outsourcing the emotional fallout to her ex was a normal Tuesday. I said, so this is it? I lose my dad, and you cheat, then send your psycho ex and her random boyfriend to threaten me over the phone? She just rolled her eyes. You're being dramatic. Dramatic. That was the word she used. Like I didn't just get ambushed by some twisted tag team duo from a soap opera. I told her, you two deserve each other, and walked away. She didn't chase me. Didn't apologize. Just shut the door like closing the chapter. Or so I thought. 3 weeks went by. 3 weeks of silence. 3 weeks of no contact. I blocked her number, deleted our photos, tried to get back to normal life. But every little thing reminded me of her. Her toothbrush was still at my place. Her stupid cardigan was mixed in with my laundry. Even a freaking Spotify playlist would wreck me because she made it for me. But I stayed strong. Then, out of nowhere, I get an email. Subject line, please just read this. It was her. Said she missed me. Said she couldn't sleep. Said she messed up and knew she couldn't take it back but wanted to explain. She told me she hadn't talked to her ex since that day, that the whole thing was a moment of weakness, and she was spiraling and needed comfort. Said she never loved her ex, that she was just familiar, and that I was the only one she ever pictured building a life with. I deleted the email. Next day, a letter shows up in my mailbox. Handwritten. She said she drove by my place twice but didn't have the guts to knock. That she cried outside for an hour in her car. That she kept seeing me in everything, my hoodie, my cologne on her pillow, the playlist we made for road trips. Then came the kicker, I didn't just lose my boyfriend. I lost my best friend. That line hit different. Because the truth is, as messed up as she was, we really were close. We talked about everything. Laughed at dumb movies. Made dinner together like an old couple. When I had a rough day, she was the one I called. And yeah, maybe part of me missed her too, but not her. I missed what I thought we had. I didn't respond. But she wasn't done. A few days later, she showed up at my job. Just walked in like we were still on speaking terms. My coworkers saw her and gave me that awkward, do you want us to throw her out, look. I walked outside with her and said, this is not okay. She had tears in her eyes, voice all shaky. Said she needed to see me, that she couldn't stop thinking about the last time we kissed, about how I held her when she cried over her dad, how I always made her feel like she mattered. Then she said, don't let this one mistake ruin everything we had. One mistake. I told her it wasn't one mistake. You didn't just cheat. You blamed me for it. You let your ex harass me. And now you want to redo like none of that happened? She just stood there. No words. Just tears. Then she whispered, I don't know who I am without you. I told her, maybe it's time you find out. And I walked back inside. But man, closing that door behind me felt like ripping off a piece of myself. A week goes by after the job incident. I was feeling proud of myself for not falling for it. For staying firm. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't checking my phone more than usual. Half hoping, half dreading her name would pop up again. And then it did. This time from a different number. All it said was, you really think I cheated? I stared at it for a minute. Just sat there like, what? I responded. You told me you did. She replies. I said I was with her. I never said we had sex. And there it was. The backpedaling. Now it's all about semantics. Now she wants to reframe everything like I imagined it. She says they just kissed. That she'd panicked and left right after. That she didn't know how to tell me because I was fragile after losing my dad and she didn't want to break me. I told her she already did. She called me a few minutes later. I answered, don't ask me why. Her voice was soft, sweet, almost like the girl I used to know. Guy didn't sleep with her, she says. Guy just... I made a mistake. I needed someone and I thought you were gone. I said I was gone for 3 days. You made it sound like I disappeared off the face of the earth. She starts crying. Not like sobbing, just soft whimpers, like she was trying to make it feel intimate. She says she doesn't remember what happened exactly. That it was all a blur. That she was drinking. That she missed me. That she thought I didn't care. And then, get this, she says, you know you weren't perfect either. I couldn't even respond to that. You shut me out all the time, she goes on. You were so focused on your grief, I felt like I didn't exist anymore. That was the line. That was the moment I felt myself go numb. Because yeah, I was grieving. My dad just died. And instead of holding me through it, she ran into the arms of someone she used to call toxic. And now she's telling me it's partly my fault? I told her, you know what hurts the most? Not even the cheating. It's that when I was at my lowest, when I had nothing left, you made me feel like I wasn't worth staying loyal to. Dead silence on her end. Then she said something that chilled me. If you hadn't gone, maybe this never would have happened. And just like that, I realized I wasn't talking to someone who made a mistake. I was talking to someone who was rewriting the whole damn script. I told her not to contact me again and hung up. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept playing her words back in my head. Like maybe I had been cold. Maybe I had made her feel unwanted. It messed with me bad. That's what people don't talk about, how the aftermath of betrayal isn't just heartbreak, it's doubt. About everything. About who you were. About what really happened. And that's when I knew I needed to hear the truth from someone, not her. After that call, I felt like I was losing my grip. Like maybe I didn't remember things right. Maybe I was a bad boyfriend. Maybe I did push her away. That's the thing about gaslighting, it's not just lies. It's lies wrapped in just enough truth to mess with your head. So I reached out to someone I knew had no reason to lie to me, her coworker, Danny. Danny and I weren't close or anything. Just liked each other's posts, joked a few times at get-togethers. But she always seemed honest. Straight up. The kind of girl who rolls her eyes when people play games. I sent her a message like, hey, sorry if this is weird, but I'm trying to make sense of what happened with Marissa. I know you two worked together and were kinda close. I just need to know if I'm crazy. Didn't expect a reply. But she answered an hour later. She said, I've been waiting for you to ask. And that's when the whole thing blew open. She told me Marissa had been texting her all weekend while I was at the festival. Telling her how afraid as she felt, how she was reconnecting it with her ex, how she might finally have closure. Danny said she didn't know what that meant at the time. Just figured they had coffee or something. But Monday morning Marissa shows up to work glowing. Literally glowing. Bragging about how she finally got it out of her system. Said she needed one last time to know for sure. My stomach dropped. I asked Danny, did she said that? Like those exact words? She said, yeah. She told me, I just had to know if the fire was still there. Then Danny added, I told her she was being messed up. That you just lost your dad. She brushed it off like it wasn't a big deal. That was the moment I knew. Everything she told me, the crying, the regret, the we didn't sleep together, it was all damage control. She never expected me to find out what she said to Danny. But she wasn't grieving. She wasn't torn up. She was lit up from it. Like it gave her a rush. I thanked Danny. Told her I appreciated the honesty. She just said you deserved better. She's not who she pretends to be. I sat there staring at the wall for maybe an hour after that. All the things Marissa told me, how she missed me, how she was sorry, how it was a mistake, it was all scripted. She never felt guilt. Just panic. Panic that I'd walk away and she'd lose the control. That was the final straw. Because betrayal hurts, yeah. But manipulation? That's something else. I didn't talk to anyone for 2 days after Danny told me everything. I just shut down. Didn't eat much. Didn't shave. Didn't answer texts from Jake or my mom. I sat on the couch, lights off, TV on mute, watching the same news cycle play in a loop, not hearing a word. It wasn't just about Marissa anymore. It was the weight of everything. My dad was gone. The one person who always had my back, who would have told me, son, walk away from people like that, wasn't here to say it. I looked around my apartment and saw pieces of her everywhere. A mug she left behind. A book she never finished. Her damn shampoo still in the shower. I hadn't even noticed it until that moment, and it felt like a gut punch. I picked it up and man, the smell hit me like a memory grenade. All those nights we spent together, laughing, fighting, forgiving each other, pretending like we were building something real. And now it all felt fake. I finally broke down. Full on. Ugly crying. The kind you don't post about. Couldn't breathe for a few seconds. My whole body was shaking. Because I realized something, this wasn't heartbreak. This was grieving. Not just my dad. Not just the relationship. But grieving the version of myself who believed in her. The guy who saw the good in people even when they didn't earn it. I called Jake. Told him everything. The real version with the stuff Danny told me. He showed up an hour later with 2 coffees and sat on the floor beside me. Didn't say anything for a long time. Then he goes, "You still thinking about taking her back?" I shook my head. Not anymore. He nodded like that was the answer he hoped for. But then he said something that stuck with me. A good. But now you gotta decide, are you gonna keep letting her live rent-free in your head, or are you gonna evict her? And I knew what I had to do next. The next morning, I grabbed a trash bag and started clearing out every last trace of her. The hoodie she left behind? Gone. The shampoo? Tossed. The pictures of us on my fridge? Ripped up. The playlist she made? Deleted. Even that damn coffee mug with the dumb cat on it that said, "But first, caffeine." Trashed. I needed her out, not just of my space, but out of my head. Out of that little corner of my mind where she still had a mattress and a set of keys. I went through my phone and scrolled through all our old texts. Hundreds of messages, emojis, voice notes from late nights. I didn't just delete them, I recorded myself hitting delete on every thread, just to remind myself later that I did it. That it was real. Then I did the one thing I'd been putting off, I blocked her on everything. Phone. Email. Instagram. Spotify. Even Venmo. I didn't care. I wasn't giving her any more cracks to crawl through. It didn't feel good at first. It felt hollow. Like when you finally get revenge in your head, and it's not satisfying, it's just quiet. But the silence? The silence started to feel like peace. I finally texted Danny one last time. Told her thanks again for being straight with me and said I didn't want to drag her into it anymore. She just replied, "Proud of you." Seriously. Let her live with her decisions. And then something weird happened. Jake called me later that night. Said he ran into Marissa at some local bar. She was with some guy, not her ex, just some new face. Said she looked off. Like she was trying too hard. Over laughing. Fake smiling. He didn't say anything to her. Just watched from across the room. Then he said, "I don't think she's okay, man." I didn't say anything. I didn't feel happy about it. Didn't feel angry either. Just nothing. That's how I knew I was healing. Because for the first time since all this went down, I wasn't waiting for an apology. I wasn't hoping she'd hurt or regret. I wasn't checking her page to see if she missed me. I just didn't care. I finally got some sleep that night. Real sleep. It's been about a month now. A month since I blocked her. A month since I stopped replaying the arguments, the betrayal, the way her eyes didn't flinch when she told me what she did. A month since I started choosing me. I won't lie, some mornings still hit hard. I still wake up thinking about her sometimes. Not because I miss her. But because she was in everything for a while. My routine, my phone, my bed, my thoughts. That kind of thing doesn't vanish overnight. It fades. Quietly. Slowly. Day by day. What helped the most? Getting real with myself. I wrote everything down. Every memory. Every red flag I ignored. Every time she shifted blame. Every time she called me dramatic when I was hurt. Every moment that made me feel small. Then I wrote down my part in it too. Not to blame myself but to see clearly. I gave too much. I trusted too fast. I stayed when I should have walked. I made excuses for her pain while burying mine. But I also loved hard. I showed up. I was loyal. I tried. And that counts for something. A couple weeks ago, I saw her on social media. Not on purpose, I was tagged in an old group photo someone reposted. She was in the background, fake smile, drink in hand. Same outfit I remember her wearing when we went to the beach that one weekend we both swore we'd never forget. And I didn't feel anything. Not anger. Not sadness. Not hate. Just distance. Like I was looking at a stranger wearing someone I used to know. Funny how people can become that. Jake and I are closer than ever. We hang out more now, just the two of us. We talk about real stuff, life, loss, the dumb things we believed when we were younger. He told me the other day, you know, you're not just getting over her. You're leveling up from the kind of guy who'd ever fall for someone like her. And he's right. Because this wasn't just about heartbreak. It was about waking up. About finally seeing who I am when I'm not wrapped up in someone else's chaos. I'm not healed. Not all the way. But I'm healing. And that's something. So if anyone out there is reading this, if you're sitting in the middle of your own version of this mess, wondering if the pain ever ends, just know, it gets better. Not all at once. But it does. You don't need closure from them. You just need to choose peace for yourself. And let the rest burn.